Getting rich is something that's actually very easy. All you have to do is follow the details on the link in the YouTube description below. Staying rich, I've got 3 important tips for you. Now, when I got started out in pre-crypto even, about 10 years ago, and I started to actually make some money, I ran into the pattern where I was making lots of money, things stalled, I spent all my money, I'm flat broke again. And I ran through cycles like that a few times until one day I sat down and I asked myself, what the heck is happening? Why aren't I building my balance when I'm making all of this money over here? So this is actually a very common pattern for people who have basically never had an income before and all of a sudden run into lots of money. Why I need to share this with you is because that is exactly what I expect to happen to you here in the crypto market, because you're smart enough to follow my tips, my advice, and take this journey on with me. So, what are 3 key things you need to be very aware of when you start making some serious money? First and foremost, don't increase your expenditure. The first thing that people do when they start building an income and start making some money is they start spending more. That's a silly thing. It's something that you shouldn't do, and I'm telling you this from experience. I see it all the time. I see people that are getting really rich almost by luck in the crypto market, and they go ahead and they start splashing money at things they never had a taste for. They start doing silly things that they've never done before, and they just waste away their money. Never do that. So tip number 1, do not increase your expenditure. The rule of thumb that I had for myself was, for an entire year, no matter how much I make, I'm not going to move from this particular apartment, and I'm not going to increase my expenditure, and I'm not going to change my lifestyle in any way whatsoever the entire year. So for a whole year, all I did was I worked my ass off and I didn't increase my spending. And so that 1 year absolutely changed my life. So that was the first thing you need to be really aware of. It's a lot more common than you might think. Second thing you need to be aware of, momentum. A lot of times what people do is they start building a huge income. Maybe they're earning commissions, maybe they're making all the right moves in the crypto market, whatever the case is, and they start to relax. Never ever do that. Don't confuse progress from work and effort from momentum. A lot of times, what I used to do wrong when I was a kid, I mean, you can call me a kid now, I'm 28, but I've been doing this for over 10 years, don't forget, is in my earlier years, I would run, for example, a marketing campaign, I'd run some ads, make some incredible money pre-crypto days, and I would sit back, I would relax, and I would think that the money is going to continue to pour in and day out. Don't take your foot off the gas. Keep building the momentum, keep pushing, and what's going to happen is your income is going to grow exponentially. This isn't a 9-to-5 job where you're earning an income and every year or every couple years you end up earning a slightly higher salary. This is something where when you build the momentum, it actually increases your income faster and faster and faster. So if you keep your foot on the gas, what's going to happen is maybe you go do $10,000 months, and all of a sudden you find that $100,000 month is your common average, and then you might find that $1 million month becomes an average. and it's not from harder work. It's from just keeping that momentum going. If you're working 2 hours a day, no matter how much income you generate, continue to work at least 2 hours a day. Don't cut on your hours. Don't cut on the hustle or the grind or whatever the case is. There is such thing as working smarter, and then working smart enough where you physically can't work too long. And so when you reach that point, then dial down on your work. But don't dial down on your work because you think that the money's going to come in all the damn time. And the third most important thing is your community, your environment. What happened with me as a kid is I wasn't aware that the people around me were basically just using me, taking advantage, and seeing me as an ATM machine. I outgrew them very fast. They got very uncomfortable with that, and our level of income was different, where I wanted to do something, but they couldn't do it because they couldn't afford it. And I would say, don't worry, I got you, let's go. And so this is something you want to get out of the habit of. Don't say to yourself, well, I knew him or I knew her since I was a kid, I'm not going to abandon them. Your real friends, they will understand that you're going on, you're doing bigger and better things, you're moving on, you're traveling somewhere, and you're improving yourself. Your fake friends, they will have a problem with your growth. And so whatever happens, generally speaking, your real friends will be inspired by your growth, and they will go and push hard and try to make things work. So you will actually help them by leaving the nest, so to speak. And so when I realized that I need to be around bigger players, I need to be around people that could do what I do at my level or higher, things ended up going up for me. And that's just purely based on mindset. Some of the numbers that I was talking about, a lot of the friends that I had were very uncomfortable with. But the guys that I have now, the friends that I have now, I can talk these numbers and they'll tell me to think bigger. So third important thing, you might not like it, but I don't care. This is how the world works. You've just got to make a whole new set of friends, a whole new set of a completely different environment. You're at the level you're at purely based on the moves you make and the people around you, the environment you're in. And so the moment you can afford it, get out of that environment. Improve your environment and don't care about anybody else's feelings. You're gonna hurt some people, but that's on them. You have your life to live, you have your responsibilities. So these are the three things. They are super important. You screw up any of them, I guarantee you'll go right back down where you are. The moment you start increasing your expenditure, spending like crazy, you're done. Finished, dead in the water. The moment you take your foot off the gas and you stop putting in the work because you think the momentum's going to ride forever, you're dead, you're in the water, you're finished. And the moment you keep the same people around in your life that you've been keeping around your whole life, and people don't like this, but I'm telling you, you're finished, you're dead in the water, you're right back where you're at. You want to change things, you want to transform, you want to be a completely different person at a whole nother level. These are the three things you must do when you start building some serious income. Otherwise, you will fall right back where you are right now. I guarantee it. I've done it. It's happened to me. It's happened to every single person that I know of that started out flat broke. If you start out and you come from a family of wealth, it's a different story. You're already in a good environment. You don't have to change things up. But if you start out broke, I guarantee it's because of the mindset that's been instilled on you from birth the environment that you kept yourself in. And once you have the power to get out of that environment, get the heck out of that environment ASAP. That means as soon as possible, right away. I did it. I flew literally to the other side of the world, from London to Thailand on my own, and I just went to work. I disappeared. Childhood friends, none. I don't talk to anybody from my childhood. Zero. For almost a decade. So these are the three things. You have to do that to stay rich and to get wealthy and to move to that next level and to have that base at that next level. There's no shortcut around it. There's no that's what you got to do. All right, so that's my tips to you. Down below anyhow is the exact steps you can take now until May 2024. I'm keep talking about that date, May 2024. For May 2024, Bitcoin halving is coming up. Until that date, until May 2025, in my opinion, Bitcoin, Ethereum, the whole lot is going to go up at least 20 times. That means every $1 million in your account that you build is going to go up to $20 million. Now, when I say every $1 million, chances are in the environment you're in, they're like, holy crap, $1 million. That is a lot of income. In the environment I'm in is nothing. So I went kind of look for example, for some cars. I was looking at a Maybach, about $220,000, dirt cheap. A friend of mine took me and he saw I think it was a Rolls-Royce Cullinan, about $700,000-800,000. Looked at it, said, I like it, and bought it the next day. So $1 million really isn't that much, depending on the level of friends you have, the level of the environment you're on. So these three things is a major must. So that's my tip for you. I made those mistakes. I don't want you to make those mistakes. This is Rahman signing out. Until next time.